Hello, Matt Osborne here again. Happy New Year to you, and thanks for tuning in. I wanted to make more of an informal video, so I'm shooting handheld, and I just wanted to quickly show you what film I'm going to be shooting in 2020. Sounds weird to say that, but yeah, 2020 we are here. January 2020, I've just had a package from the postman, so let's take a look. Okay, so here's the package. Let's see what we have. I already opened it to save me trying to do it one-handed. Okay, so at the end of 2019, I was really enjoying using my new Leica 3 cameras. These are vintage Leica cameras, obviously 35mm. I managed to shoot pretty much all the film I had left in the fridge, so I needed to stock up. I looked online on Flickr to try to get an idea of the image quality of the different black and white films, and normally I'd shoot something like Kodak T-Max 100, Kodak T-Max 400, but because of the price increase at the end of 2019 for Kodak films, I thought I'd try some non-Kodak black and white. Now again, normally I use mostly ISO 100 films, but that was when I was using the Leica M3 and the Leica M cameras. Now on the Leica M cameras I tend to use a Leica Similux 50mm f1.4 lens, like a fast lens. But what I found is when I moved to the classic Leica 3 cameras, which are the LTM mount lenses, I'll do a review of the LTM mount lenses and link it up above when I get a chance. Some of these lenses are not so fast, so because I don't have a f1.4 lens, I wanted to buy some ISO 400 film for when there was insufficient light. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so we have Ilford Pan 400. Now I've shot Ilford Pan 100 but never Ilford Pan 400. An interesting fact which you may not be aware of is they say that Ilford Pan 100 is actually rebadged side strips of Ilford FP4, and they say that Ilford Pan 400 is the side strips like cut off on the main roll in the factory of Ilford HP5 but the Ilford Pan film is like a economy range, and so it's slightly cheaper than the originally branded Ilford FP4 Plus and HP5. So I'm assuming this is going to be similar to HP5 Ilford, but regardless, even if it's got its own look, I didn't know this when I was shooting the Ilford Pan 100, and I absolutely loved the film. So once I shoot some images with it, I'll be sure to share them on social media, Instagram, Flickr, things like this, and then when I've got enough I'll put a blog post review together for the Ilford Pan 400. Okay, so the first film, 10 boxes of 36 exposure 400 speed Ilford Pan 400. This film has a long 2024 expiry date, which is pretty impressive. I'm fairly certain it's not going to last me until the summer, let alone 2024. We'll see how much I like it. So Ilford Pan 400. The next film that I bought was also 400 speed. This is Kentmere 400. Now, from reading various things online, they say that Kentmere 400 is very similar to, or the same, rebadged as Agfa APX 400, I believe. I may be totally killing that because I've not read it for a month or so, but I believe this is the same as Agfa black and white. Kentmere 400 is slightly cheaper than the Ilford Pan 400 we just looked at, and I'm quite an experimental kind of guy, so I wanted to buy both, and then I could see which was best for kind of my taste. And also be interesting to see if I push the film to 800 and 1600, on both this and the Ilford Pan 400. It'd be interesting to see how the results look. So again, I'll review this on the mrleica.com blog once I've had time to use the film. Again, the dates on this Kentmere 400 film is March 2024, but it's not going to be. It will not last me that long. Pretty certain. Okay, so those are my two boxes of 400 speed 35mm film. That was my choice for 2020. Now I then needed some cheapest possible black and white film to use for when I just want to shoot and test cameras and pay as little as possible. So can anyone recognise this? This is a large stash of Fomapan 100 35mm black and white film, 36 exposure. Now there's 10 rolls in a pack, but I had to pay for postage from Germany on eBay. So to cover the postage, I actually bought three packs of 10. So that's 50 rolls of black and white film, 35mm. I'm hopeful that will last me maybe the year. It's difficult to say. Some months I shoot a lot, some months I don't shoot so much, depending on model availability, whether I'm travelling, whether I suddenly wake up one day and switch to doing large format or medium format, which I'll probably do tomorrow. Now I've just bought all this film. Know my annoying brain. Fomapan 100 Classic seems to get a bad name or bad rep online, but I absolutely love it. It's my most used 120 film by a big margin because it's so cheap, and because I can use it from ISO 100 to 800 at a push, 400 easily, and super easy to develop. And yeah, I just really like it. I have shot 35mm Fomapan before, but the last time I bought 35mm Foma 100 Classic, I bought the bulk 100-foot bulk roll. Let me see if I can find it. And for anybody interested, this is the 100-foot, I believe it's 100-foot roll, bulk roll tin for when I last used 35mm Fomapan. The tin you may be able to find slightly cheaper than the roll film, but by the time you've rolled the film and maybe scratched it and blah blah blah, it's almost cost effective to just buy it pre-rolled. I always struggle with having enough free time for anything, so I've gone for the pre-rolled option for 2020. Here are some images, 35mm that I've shot on Fomapan 100, mostly with Leicas. Again, if you look on mrleica.com, there's a review for Fomapan 100 shooting 35mm 120 film and 4x5 film. Best value film I can find on the internet. It's made in the Czech Republic. I'm not sure if it'll be available in the US, but it's pretty available in around Europe. Pros and cons. Pros, it's obviously super cheap. Really like it. It's got a slightly classic grain structure. Very easy to develop, and you can shoot 100 to 400 on the same roll ISO and not seem to have any kind of issues when it comes to developing. Cons, some people say it scratches easily. I've not had too many problems, but I have had a few, not from this film where it's pre-boxed and pre-rolled. I'd scratched film by using a faulty bulk film loader, so I can't really fault the film, but I would say it does maybe scratch easily than say some of the more premium films, the Kodaks and the Fujis and things like this. So let's have a look. So 2020, what film am I going to be shooting? I'm going to be shooting mostly Fomapan 100 classic for 35mm, and then if I need more light I will be using either Ilford Pan 400 or Kentmere Pan 400. My expectation is, which may be wrong, but I'm expecting the Pan 400 Ilford to push better than the Kentmere, so I'm maybe planning to use this at 400, this at 800, this at 100 to 400. So yeah, this above 400, this at maybe 800 to 1600, maybe. I'm not a big fan of crazy grain, so we'll have to see. But yes, that's my film investment into film photography for 2020. Okay, so that's my film choices for 2020 for 35mm. Probably not everybody's first choice, maybe their never even considered choice. So just to finish off, in this video I've talked about what film I'm planning to use in 2020, but you may have the question, well, what film was I using in 2019 and why did I not need to buy film last year? I was very fortunate in maybe 2012, one of my followers on Facebook contacted me and said, would you like some old film? So I said, of course, yes please, of course. So they live locally, so they dropped me a background of film, and some of it was this bricks, as they call it, big packs. I've shown it on YouTube before. Packs of this Olympic Special Edition 2006 black and white film. Now I never really thought much of it. I didn't think it'd be any good, so I didn't use it. So I left it in my cupboard. Not even in a good cupboard, it was kind of in like a garage, so it was getting hot in the summer, cold in the winter. I left it from 2012 maybe till 2019, and in 2019 I needed some black and white film to test some new cameras I'd bought. So I picked up one of these rolls of films and shot it, expecting kind of nothing in particular, and the results were like fantastic. So I was like, I've got like 2 bricks of this, like a lot of film, maybe 30 rolls, maybe more. So for the second half of 2019, I shot almost all expired Kodak BW 400 CN film, which is an expired film. Let me cut away. So I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I grabbed some boxes that I've shot. So if it'll focus, you can see how dusty it is and how vintage it looks. The boxes are even like semi-rotting because it was kind of in a garage. But so this is some of the boxes I've shot in the last month or so. Everything is Kodak BW 400 CN. So these are obviously all empty. And so this is my last of the stash of Kodak BW 400 CN. Once this is gone, I needed new film, so that's why I just bought the 50 rolls of film we've just talked about here. So that's the new film. That film's going to be replacing this film.